Hi there, it's Desiree Stafford, founder of Level Up Intensive, and today I'm going to share with you how you can attract high-ticket clients and add $30,000 to $50,000 per month and grow your coaching or expert business faster and easier. So you're probably here today because while you're successful, your business is just not growing fast enough, right? Perhaps you're making 10K, 20K, 30K a month or more, but maybe your income is stuck, right? Or maybe your income is up and down. Bottom line is you're working really hard, but you're not making the level of income and impact that you know that you're capable of, right? There is a gap between where you are now and where you know that you should be by now. And so my intention in this video is to help you figure out what you can do to close that gap faster. So there are really three key areas that I am going to focus on here today. Number one is your ability to attract qualified leads, a steady flow of them, right? Number two, it's your ability to convert your prospects into clients. And number three is the massive value that you deliver to the marketplace. So let's start with attract. Attract is where a lot of people think they need to focus on. If right now you're not attracting the quality or quantity of leads that you're wanting, perhaps either you feel like you never know where the next sale is going to come from, or you have a steady flow of leads coming in, but they're not at the right level, right? So that means you're working with clients who perhaps are just not the right fit. They can't really receive your gifts and get the kind of results that you know are possible. Therefore, you may be undercharging. You may have clients who are not renewing. They're not sending you referrals. So it feels like growing your business is really hard right now. So let's talk about how you can make it easier. Let's talk about what you can do to fill your pipeline with qualified leads, what you can do to have predictable sales, right? Because that's what everybody wants when you want to grow your business. So there are really three areas of this. Number one is your messaging, making sure that your messaging is speaking to the right client. There's your lead gen strategy, having a strategy that is appropriate for where your business is currently at and the audience that you're serving, because not every strategy is one size fits all, right? So if you've tried implementing dozens of strategies and you can't figure out why they're not working for you the way that they have worked for the gurus, is because it's probably not the right fit for your business where it's at right now and the clients that you serve, right? The other piece of attract is your ability to show up in the marketplace as the leader that you're meant to be and the leader that your clients need you to be. One of the things you have to really understand is that if you want to magnetize the A players, they are seeking leadership, right? So you really have to identify the leader that you're meant to be and really show up from that place, as well as the leader that they need you to be. Now, I find that when people are struggling to show up fully as the leader, it often is tied to the value that they offer, right? So we're going to talk a little bit more about that later on in this video. For right now, I want you to understand how powerful this concept really is. I'm going to share with you a success story. I work with a client named Hind. She's a business coach, and she was stuck at $2,500 a month for a long time. She was working really hard, creating a ton of content, and just not understanding why her business wasn't growing fast enough. So we worked on the attract piece in her business, right? And her really showing up as a leader. Within 6 weeks, she went from $2,500 a month to $58,000 in 6 weeks, all right? She now works significantly less. She has a multiple six-figure business, and she gets to spend more time with her family, all right? So I want you to think about what's possible for you when you really get this attract piece down and you're able to attract those A players that you really want to work with, the kind of people who are fun and easy to work with, right? What difference would that make in your life? Right? Now let's talk about the convert aspect. So this is your ability to convert more sales, right? So let's talk about what makes this really possible, because right now, if you're not experiencing that, if you're having a lot of prospects get on the phone with you and it seems like the call is going well, but at the end they'd say, I love to, but, right? Perhaps they're using the current pandemic as a reason not to move forward. They can't afford it. There's some reason why they're not moving forward. There's some excuse, there's some stall, or perhaps they say yes and then they disappear when it's time to pay the deposit and sign the contract, right? So all of these situations can be frustrating for you, and it can take a real toll on your confidence. So let's talk about how to turn this around. How can you convert more of the prospects that you're already getting into clients and have them really be all in, paid up on that call, sign the contract right away, and step into your programs ready to get results, right? Because when you do this, if you really understand this, you can literally triple your sales simply by closing more of the leads that you're currently getting, right? To be able to really serve people powerfully. So there are a couple of key areas when it comes to converting leads, right? So converting your prospects. So number one, you really have to pre-qualify people before they get on the phone with you. Your marketing should be doing the heavy lifting. It should be doing the pre-selling. Your job is not to sell on that sales call. So you want to make sure that you have a pre-qualification process. And this is beyond just having an application, right? There are a couple of key things that I walk my clients through that helps them pre-qualify their leads. So they're spending a lot less time on the phone and they're closing more sales, all right? So the second area is obviously to diagnose what's actually going on for your prospect. To number one, identify, if they have a problem that you can actually solve, if you actually want to help them work with that particular client, right? So that's a diagnose piece of the call. And then the last piece is what everybody is familiar with and often afraid of, which is overcoming objections. And the way that I really talk about this and how I help people with this is really by understanding that what an objection really is nothing more than your prospects' fears, right? It is the fears, often fears that are unconscious to them, that have been holding them back for weeks, months, or years, right? So it's important that you know how to facilitate what I call a true conversion. And the way that you do that is by shattering paradigms, because the way that your prospect is currently thinking is the reason that they're stuck. And so what you want to do is understand how to shatter their paradigms so that they can release their limiting beliefs and adopt your empowering beliefs. Therefore, they can get the results, right? If you can close them, you can then serve them powerfully. So this is the real area that I feel a lot of people need to do the most work with. And it doesn't take a lot of time, it just takes understanding in order to facilitate the true conversion and get those sales that stick and have clients step into your programs feeling fully empowered to get the results that you can deliver for them, right? So when you understand this, you can literally triple your sales. I had a client who went from $20,000 a month to $96,000 a month by applying what I just shared with you here in her business, right? And she's now less stressed because she knows that she's going to be able to close the sales and serve the clients that she wants to serve. And so that makes her a happier wife. So I want you to think about for yourself, right? What is the power of your ability to close more sales of the leads that you're already getting? How would that change your business, right? How would that change your relationship with your prospects and your clients? Okay. Now let's talk about the next piece, which is value, right? So this is what I find many people struggle with, regardless of what level you're at in business. It's really understanding your value, right? Because when you're not doing that, you will often have challenges showing up in the marketplace as the leader, right? You may also have challenges overcoming objections on the sales call. So we really want to help you understand and own your value, right? So this is going to allow you to charge what you really want to charge, attract the level of clients that you really want to be serving right now, right? So let's talk about that. There are really three areas of value that I focus on with my clients. Really, there's an inner and outer game, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to talk about just the outer game, and there are three components to this. And the first component, number one, is identifying who it is that you serve, meaning who can you deliver the most value for? I find that when people are undercharging, it's because they're working with the wrong client, right? They're working with a client who they're not able to provide a higher level of value to, right? So when you think about value, if you think it means that you have to work harder, I want you to think again about that. If you pair your unique combination of gifts, skills, and talents with a particular client who has the most need for and can experience the most value as a result of your work, you'll be able to charge whatever it is that you want to charge, and people will pay you, right? So number one is identifying who is the person that you can provide the most value for, okay? The second is really understanding what it is that you're solving. So what I mean by this is you have to understand the big urgent problem that you're solving for people and the promise that they want to experience. This is going to allow you to command 10K, 25K, 50K plus fees, right? Because when you're solving a big urgent problem, are people likely to pay more or less, right? This is one of the reasons that high ticket is selling so well now. I mean, it's always sold well, but a lot of people thought that, you know, with what's going on in the economy, a lot of people wouldn't be able to afford high ticket. But if you understand the value that you're delivering to your clients, you will be able to sell high ticket effortlessly in this current economy, right? So it's important that you understand the what, that big urgent problem that you're solving and the promise that your clients want to experience. That's going to help them really understand the ROI of working with you right now, right? The next piece of this is the how, right? How do you deliver those results? So you need to have your own methodology. Your methodology is, number one, going to give you confidence that you can deliver results so that you can really stand behind your fee. It's also going to give your clients confidence. There's a proven process that you're going to walk them through. And it's really going to help you stand out and leverage what I call your unique advantage in the marketplace, your advantage over the competition. So let's talk about the how. The how is your methodology, right? It is the way that you take your prospect or your client from where they are right now to where they desire to be. Now, if you're selling single sessions right now and you think that you don't have a process, I'm going to challenge you on that, because every single person that I've worked with has always had a methodology. Right? So the idea here is for you to get clear on what your methodology is. Oftentimes when people lack the confidence in their fees or in their ability to deliver, it goes back to the methodology. Now remember what I shared with you. When you have a clear methodology, that's going to attract the A players, because every A player out there is looking for a plan. They're willing to invest top dollar to work with someone who has a proven process that's going to help them get results. Now, your methodology is also going to answer the question that every single prospect has in the back of their mind, which is why you, right? Why should they choose you over your competition? Your unique methodology is that why, right? So you have to understand that so it can be communicated in your marketing messages, all right? So now, I want you to really think about how powerful this is. I know I went through things really quickly, but this is really powerful stuff. When you understand the value, remember, it is an inner and outer game, and we talk about the outer game here, but I think this is enough for you to understand what you might need to shift in your own business, right? I want to share with you Janelle's experience. Janelle is a relationship coach, and we worked together, and she was stuck at $5,000 a month, and we took her to $62,000 in her first month of us working together. How did we do this? We really worked on the value piece, and that allowed her to significantly raise her fees. She went from $5,000 packages to $15,000 packages. And that first month, she did $62,000 in sales. The second month, she raised her prices to $30,000 and signed a $30K full pay sale. That is the power of understanding the value that you bring to your ideal clients, right? So I want you to think about for yourself, what difference could this make in your life and in your business when you really own the value that you bring to the marketplace? How would that change things for you? Would you be charging what you're charging right now or more, right? Would you be working with the level of clients that you're working with right now or higher level clients? What difference would this make in your business, right? Now, I want to share with you how I came to really believe in what it is that I'm telling you here today. Because, you know, there was a time in my business when I was struggling, and, you know, I've been in business for a number of years right now. And it was about 2 years ago when things really shifted for me, because I had this awareness, this awakening, if you will, because I had been working really, really hard and just not seeing my business grow fast enough. And I'm like, this isn't making sense. You know, I've invested in course after course and mentor after mentor and program after program and strategy after strategy, and I still wasn't getting the breakthrough that I knew had to have been possible. And about 2 years ago, I was home visiting my family for the holidays, and I had this moment that just really shook me. I was sitting, you know, in my sister's room by myself, working on my umpteen funnel, trying to figure out how to bring in more leads and sales. And I remember just having a moment where I could hear my family laughing and celebrating the holiday without me. They were enjoying each other's company, telling stories, and just having a good time. And I wasn't, right? I was in my sister's room by myself working. And in that moment, I said, something has to shift. Because one of the reasons that I started my business in the first place was because I wanted to experience more freedom. I wanted to experience freedom of time, freedom of finances, right? I wanted to be able to spend the holidays with my family, not working, trying to figure out what is missing in order for me to make the sales that I needed to make. And so in that moment, I felt so alone, and I realized that I was no longer going to put up with what I was putting up with. I was no longer going to allow myself to really struggle the way that I had been struggling unnecessarily. So right after the holiday, I signed up with a brand new mentor, and within 2 weeks, I went from $25,000 a month to $133,000 in 2 weeks, okay? And that was a turning point for me because we worked on everything I just shared with you here today. We worked on the attract, we worked on the convert, we worked on the value piece, and that changed everything almost overnight. So I want you to understand that what I'm sharing with you from my personal experience as well as the experience I've had walking my client through the same methodology. And I also want you to understand that results don't have to take time. Even if you've been in your current situation, whether you're making, $100,000 a year, $250,000 a year, $500,000 a year, and you've been stuck there for a certain period of time, I want you to know that you can experience the transformation you're looking for very quickly if you have the courage to really show up and do the work, right? So let's talk about what's possible for you here, right? Since we've talked about a couple of the key areas that I work with my clients on, I really want you to start thinking about this for yourself. How does what I shared with you actually fit into your situation, right? Do you know from what we've talked about here today that you really need to work on the attract piece? Or is it the convert piece? Is it the value piece? Or is it all of them, right? So with what you know here today, what would you like to do from here? Right? Would you like to go off on your own and try to figure this out? Or would you like some customized support? If you would like some customized support, I'd love to be able to see if or how I can help you. So what you can do is click the link above or below this video, and that's going to take you to a page where you can fill out an application. Before you go there, I want to share with you who this is really for, right? This conversation that I'm willing to have with you is really about helping you get clear on where you are now, where you want to go, and exactly what to do to get you there. So we're going to identify what's actually holding you back and put together a plan that's going to help you achieve your goals faster and easier. So what I'm looking for, if you apply for this conversation with me, what I'm looking for is that you're someone who's really ready to implement, right? You're someone who's a go-getter. You're not someone who's going to kind of just sit on the information. You're wanting to make the best use of your time and have this phone call, get the insights that you need to implement, right? You're also open. So you're coachable. You're willing to share with me what's actually going on in your situation, and then I can share with you the insights that are actually going to move you from where you are to where you desire to be. And you're also someone who has the courage to make more money faster and easier. Believe it or not, it requires courage to do that, right? Now, you can get to 30 to 50K a month in sales the long and hard way, right? You can take a year to get there if you want. What I'm looking for are people who are wanting to get there in the next 60 to 90 days. So you've got to have the courage to do that, right? Now, if you don't have the courage to do that, please don't book a call. If you're not good at what you do, you don't know that you can actually provide real value, please don't book a call. And if you're not someone who's willing to take action and you're not coachable, you're not open, please do not book a call. All right. Now, if you know that you are what I've described, right? You are someone who's open, you're coachable, you're good at what you do, and you have the courage, then I invite you to have a conversation with me. Click the link above or below this video. You're going to fill out an application. I'm going to review it personally. And if I believe that I can help you, we're going to have that conversation. All right. If I don't think that I can help you, I'm going to let you know that so that you can save your time and I can save my time. And I'm also going to point you in the direction of resources I think would be a better fit based on where you are right now. All right. So I hope you got the value that you came here to get here today. And until we speak, I hope that you and your family are safe.